Okay, now I'm moving on to the breakfast stuff. Since I didn't buy ground breakfast sausage, I found a recipe online where you can turn ground turkey into breakfast sausage. So that is what I'm going to do. That looks really disgusting. I hope this is good. Okay, so I have a pound of ground turkey. I need to add half of a tablespoon. This was a 2-pound recipe, but I don't have 2 pounds. So I gotta add half a tablespoon, so I'm adding 2 teaspoons because I'm pretty certain that's the same thing. Brown sugar. Then I need a teaspoon of salt. That seems like a lot. I'm not gonna do quite that much. 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 3/4 teaspoons of ground sage. Marjoram is closely related to oregano, so I'm gonna use oregano in place of that. It called for a 1/4 teaspoon of marjoram, but I don't have any, so oregano it is. 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and I'm using crushed red pepper. And that is supposed to make breakfast sausage, so we shall see. I'm gonna mix this up, and then I am going to let it sit in the fridge for a little while because my battery is flashing again. We didn't let it charge long enough. Okay, so while my camera was charging, I went ahead and formed my little patties, and ended up getting 7. I'm using my electric skillet, and I sprayed cooking spray on it. I'm gonna leave those alone, and in the meantime, I'm gonna slice my English muffins. 100% whole wheat English muffins. I'm also going to do only 2 whole eggs, or 2, I don't remember. I gotta look at my recipe again. Slice those in half, and then we'll come back. Okay, so about the time I finish slicing my English muffins, these are pretty ready. Some of these might not be quite as crispy. I'm going ahead and kind of flattening them so they have a nice flat shape to go on the English muffins. All right, so my recipe was 2 whole eggs and 3 egg whites. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'll show you, if you don't know how to separate yolks from whites, you just kind of rock your yolk back and forth in your eggshell. Open it up and rock back and forth. Okay. One more.
Poor baby bird.
What?
It's a poor baby bird.
Gosh.
Never had a chance. Okay.
3 whole eggs.
2 egg whites.
3 whole eggs and 2 egg whites. That's what we're getting today. You distract me with the poor baby chickens. And I do put a little bit of water, and I will also do salt and pepper. I just sprayed all on the inside of this. Now this is warm, but I'm going to have to hold it right on the top to make sure that it stays nice and flat while I pour my egg in. Oh, well, okay. Whole point of putting this down first was to let it get pretty hot so that the edges would seal as the egg cooks. In my mind, this works much better. Alright, I'm just going to catch it.
I mean, it did it better than just pouring it on there. You need to let that cook.
Yeah. Okay, so one more time with the egg. Okay. I'm going to hold this one a little bit longer. So you get the idea of how long that takes. But let these set really well before you flip. And that will be nice and perfect. I am using just regular sliced cheese. What I'm going to do is take a top sausage. Oh, that one's bubbling. Piece of cheese. Like that. And then our cooked egg on top. And then I'm gonna let that cool completely. I'm gonna wrap them in saran wrap and then put each thing into a gallon Ziploc bag. That way they're together but separated out equally. That's it. Okay, now we're gonna go through the whole wheat waffles with the flaxseed meal. In this bowl right here, I'm gonna mix all my dry ingredients first. I have a cup of whole wheat flour, a cup of unbleached white flour, a 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal, and a tablespoon of baking powder. Now, if you were wanting to add sugar, you would add the sugar in here, even though it's considered a wet ingredient, but I'm gonna do agave nectar. Okay, I'm gonna add, in here I have a whole stick of melted butter. And so I'm gonna pour until I get up to, I need 2 cups of milk. So I've got about a 1/2 cup of butter in there. So I'm gonna go up to the 2.5 cup line, if that makes sense. 2.5 teaspoons of, oh my goodness.
Of agave.
Of agave, thank you. I'm gonna do just 1/3 because a lot of it sticks to the thing anyway. Okay, and then to that, 2 eggs. And then I'm going to add a whole teaspoon of vanilla. This recipe actually came from one of the girls in our Bradley class, and it was so yummy. Normally I just do whole wheat waffles and they're really dry, but these were really moist. So I think they'll do really well being frozen and then not being frozen. I got my waffle iron heating up. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good spray right now. Close it so it'll get really hot. Probably should have done it a little slower to avoid lumps, but my butter was cooling. Nice and thick. And I don't know what kind of waffle iron you may have, but this one in particular, I like to use like a 1/2 cup scoop. Scoop it right in the middle. Use a little bit more. And then close it. We'll see how that does. Okay, my steam has gotten a lot slower on the waffle. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. It's getting nice and crispy on the edges. I'm gonna put it on there. Do the same thing again. About a 1/2 cup. Probably ends up being closer to a good cup. And that is it. We'll come back and I'll show you how I wrap these. Wrap the waffles, show you everything in the freezer, and then I'll tally everything up, and that will be the end. Okay, so this is all the meals I ended up getting. I'm finally finished. These are my breakfast sandwiches. It was a lot easier to stack them this way than lay them down. I have in here that you would microwave them for 3 minutes after they're frozen, of course. I have four waffles whole, and then 2 waffles I cut into the quarters, and I put 2, and they are in saran wrap. These are each individually wrapped. I put 2 quarters together, so it's essentially half a waffle in each of there. And then this is the actual crock-pot meals. The only one I didn't get 2 out of was the honey garlic chicken right there. And then, like I said, Shane decided we were gonna eat that soup for dinner tonight, but I'm still counting it as a meal because we're still eating it. I would have had to cook something else tonight anyway. So this is everything. So I broke this down 2 ways. I got 13 meals, 6 waffles, 6 breakfast sandwiches, and then I had extra from if I would have had 7 English muffins, I would have had enough, but this is egg, cheese, and a thing of sausage that I'll have for breakfast tomorrow. So that's a single serve breakfast. So that comes up to a total of 26 meals or 39 servings. So my total spend of things that I had to buy, and like I said in the beginning, what I had to buy, you may not have to buy, and what I didn't buy, you may have to. Did I say the same thing twice?
No, you did it different.
Okay. All right, so 26 meals came out to an average of $4.63 a meal, and so that's a serving of 2, so you cut that in half, and that's how much you are serving for 2. And then 39 servings is what the total came to between the meals, waffles, and the breakfast sandwiches. And that came out to $3.09 a serving, because technically some of this is for one waffle. You wouldn't get 2 servings out of 1 waffle. But I like to think $4.63 per meal, that's pretty cheap. And this will last us quite a while because it is just dinner. So that's how I have it all loaded up on here. I'm gonna put it all back in the freezer and we will eat it all when we're ready. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe and share. Of course, I'm gonna put this on Pinterest, so go on there and repin it as well, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks, bye.